You can tell a lot about a person by how they decorate their bookshelf. What knickknacks do they have on their shelves? Are they a figurine person? A plushie person? Do they like to fit a specific aesthetic, or are they a mix and match of different things that they enjoy? I find that most people who prominently display bookshelves in their homes are, consciously or not, trying to send a message with how they decorate their shelves. And odds are, if you ask them the story behind any knick-knack or object on their shelf, they would be more than happy to tell it to you. And that's what we're gonna do today. Welcome back to the bookcase. We do not have an intro, and today I am going to take all of you on a knick-knack tour of all of the different not books that are on our bookshelves. I feel like the easiest way to do this is going to be to take you directly to the items, so without further ado, we're just gonna jump into it. One thing that is immediately apparent when you look at our bookshelves is that I am a certified plushie enjoyer. I love me a stuffed animal. Every stuffed animal that I have has a name and a story behind it, and if I were to go over every single one of them, that would practically be its own video, so we're not going to get into that. However, some of them do have a special story, such as this owl up here, who is one of the first presents that Stin ever got me while we were dating. These paintings, I painted these. I painted all of the paintings that you see throughout our apartment. It's just something that I enjoy doing. This one over here of the mountains was just a painting tutorial that I found online. But this one is a recreation of a photo that I took while visiting the beach. I think that this is Little Corona, Corona del Mar. A lot of the things that I have on my shelf are gifts. For instance, we have this little owl over here in the corner. My dad gave me this for Christmas this year, and he fits so nicely right there in the corner. This little guy, my friend's sister crocheted for me when they were staying here to watch the solar eclipse. And then this is really special. This is a paperweight that my high school English teacher gave to me my senior year. The Benjamin Franklin quote, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. She really encouraged me in my writing and was just a really big inspiration in my life at that time. So shout out to Mrs. Thomas. I still have this. Also gifts, we have this cardinal that my grandpa gave to me. He gave it to me when we moved to Missouri because he mistakenly thought that the cardinal was the state bird of Missouri. It's not. It's their baseball mascot, but it's the thought that counts. I don't remember where I got this. I've had this forever. And then this was a willow tree statue that my mom gave me when I moved out. I used to keep children's books on this shelf, which is why I have my knickknacks here honoring children's books. We've got this Winnie the Pooh anniversary statue with classic Pooh and modern Pooh looking at each other in the mirror. I think it's 80 years of Pooh, the 80th anniversary. It's broken, but don't worry about it. If we put it this way, you can't tell. This right here, I think this photo is of me and my mom on my 9th, maybe 8th birthday party. But the picture frame, obviously, is American Girl. And I don't remember when I got this. I feel like I've had it forever. But my mom used to read me the American Girl books before I went to bed at night. So this is really special. Currently, this is the only Lego set that we have in our house. I would like to change that eventually, but Legos are a little bit expensive to collect. But this one is fun. It's of the London skyline, and funny story about this. My mom got this for us for Christmas one year, and it was because she went to London that year. Well, because she went to London that year, guess what we got her for Christmas? Why, yes, it was this Lego set. So that's something that we both have in our respective homes, which is really neat. This right here is something that I'm really pleased with. Last year, the library summer reading theme was art and creativity, and we had a tiny art show at the library where people could come and get these tiny little canvases and make whatever type of art that they wanted on them, and we got to have these little painting stands to go with them, these little easels, that's the word. And I decided to make a Lord of the Rings themed, like, bookish collage with the Road Goes Ever On and On song from The Lord of the Rings. If I could change one thing about how I currently have the shelf decorated, I would have these really cool dragon bookends that we got from my brother for Christmas one year. I would have them in a more prominent place, but they do kind of take up a lot of space, and the shelf is just so full right now that they don't really fit anywhere as bookends properly, so I just kind of have them hanging out down here, but one day I would like to display them more prominently. Now, if you saw my bookshelf tour when I was going through the books on the shelf, you know that these two shelves are what I call the short shelves, and it's because I just have the shelves packed here as short as they will go to fit as many of those little books in as possible, but I do have two fun knickknacks in here. I have this Starfleet insignia necklace that I keep right here next to the Star Trek Mission to Horatius book, which again, I only have this book because I like the painting on the cover and I like how that looks front facing. And then here I have my Hunger Games books, which I did in fact purchase from the Scholastic book order when I was in high school, and the time that I did that, they were having a little bonus where if you bought all three of them together, you got the Mockingjay pin with it, and so I have the book accurate Mockingjay pin here. More stuffed animals. These white cats, I have a bigger one too. They were Girl Scout cookie sales rewards that I got when I was a brownie in like first, second grade, something like that. We of course have the World Hopper plaque, or it's just like poster basically, but the World Hopper poster from the Brandon Sanderson Secret Project Kickstarters. And then this is my new obsession. I got this for Christmas from my dad. Thank you, Dad. Is this library book nook that I built. And if you stand at the wrong angle, whoop, hello, oh, there I am in there. So the way that these work, if you've never seen these, is these are models that are about the depth of your bookshelf, and then they have a mirror inside to give the illusion of further depth inside. So when you look at it straight on, it looks like there's this winding hallway filled with books, and the light is on a motion sensor, so it lights up when you walk by, and I just really like it. I might have to start collecting these. Not that I don't already collect plenty of other things, like stuffed animals and like teacups. This shelf is a great segue because in it there are two teacups, and if we take a little step over this way, why, what do we have aside from more stuffed animals and more paintings? Why, we have a teacup. If we keep going, what do we have over here? Why, we have a lot more teacups. By the way, if you noticed this chicken, her name was Babs. I used to live on a farm and we had chickens, and this one we would let into the house and she would eat Rice Krispie cereal off of the floor as a treat, and she enjoyed it very, very much. And yes, Babs as in the chicken from Chicken Run. Oh, one more thing. If you move this candle here, which this was actually our Unity candle at our wedding, but this is actually a box. So you can put all kinds of treasures in there. Right now I just have a clutch chain. I don't know why that's all I have in there right now, but it's very fun to have a little hidden box in my little fake book stack here. Now really, if you're here for knickknacks, this is the shelf that you want to look at. I keep these shelves, as I've said many times before, more for aesthetic than I do for actual book storage, although as time has gone on, I have had to put more and more of my actual reading books onto this shelf to save space, such as this whole spread of Rick Riordan books now, but I keep quite a lot of knickknacks on this shelf. If you ask me the story behind any of these teacups, a few of them I could tell you, but most of them I've just picked up at random thrift stores, antique stores, garage sales over the years. I just like collecting pretty teacups, and I don't really care where I get them. As long as I think they'll look nice with my other decor, I will snatch them up. I used to have something like this set up on the main shelf, but then as I collected more and more books, I had to relegate it over here. But I call this the Sherlock Holmes study. So not only have I got my deerstalker, which I got for a Halloween costume one year, and this magnifying glass, which I also got for a Halloween costume, but these other things here on the shelf are things that I actually got in England when I went in college. So this is just a really cheap Big Ben statue. You can get these at any cheapo souvenir shop, which is in fact where I got this. I got it at a cheapo souvenir shop near the Tower of London. This, though, this is my pride and joy. This is a real functional pipe, which I purchased at the Sherlock Holmes Museum on Baker Street. 221B Baker Street is not a real address, but Baker Street is a real street, and there is a museum that has been set up there where you can go through and learn about Sherlock Holmes and purchase things in the gift shop. And I got this pipe when I was there, and I have kept it on a shelf next to my other London paraphernalia ever since. Also from England is this hourglass here. This I picked up at the Royal Observatory up in Greenwich, where the prime meridian is, where you can stand with 2 feet in either hemisphere. Coming down here, we have more random teacups and things. I think I got this tea set at Goodwill when I was trying to build out a like Sherlock Holmes study set for a Halloween event. I got the candlesticks at the same place. This clock is a recent acquisition of mine. I got this at an antique store, and I don't know how to set it so that it's on the correct time, but it does actually work. It still ticks, and if I can ever figure out how to set the time to the correct time, it will actually tell the time. Moving down, this is I think it's supposed to be like a sun catcher or like a Christmas ornament thing I made at a craft event once. Those are real dried flowers in there, and like real pressed flowers. The butterfly is just a sticker, but the rest is all real plant life that we pressed in this little thing, and that's really fun. And we come down and we start to get kind of more into like whimsical fairy tale vibes. I like to switch out these flowers for like fall leaves or like holly and stuff like that for different seasons. So this shelf will get either very autumn or very Christmassy in particular. I don't know where these butterflies come from. I really have no idea. It's something that I ended up with from my grandpa after he passed away, and I'm not sure where he got them, but I have those here as well. This fan, actually, I bought this in New York City when I was 13 years old. I think we were in Chinatown when I got this. It's obviously not a Chinese fan or a Chinese design, but the lady who sold it to me was a vendor in a street market in Chinatown. This also came from my grandpa's house. I'm not sure where it came from either, but my grandma wanted me to have that because she knows that I love geese, and she is right. Isn't she, Gertrude? So yeah, my little smaller shelf over here in the corner. Actually, let me stand up and give you a whole view of this corner because it has changed quite a bit since the last video filmed in this corner. Now we have like a whole little stuffed animal book nook situation going on. I would not call this piece of furniture a bookshelf, but I have started keeping puzzles there as well as other bookish paraphernalia. Here is a smaller version of the same box from the other one, and here I actually do have stuff in here. I have some fake mustaches, don't worry about why those are there, and then some just random bookish merch, mostly Cosmere stuff. I've also made this the designated place to just put books when they come into the house and I don't have a place to put them yet. So I've got a random book I got for Christmas that I couldn't find a home for on the shelf, and an ARC that I got of Devil of the Deep, which I need to get to reading because that comes out soon. This bear, by the way, also a souvenir from when I went to England. This is a Elizabethan bear dressed in one of the gowns that Elizabeth I was painted in, and I purchased it at the Tower of London gift shop. The lighting over here is terrible with the window right behind things. I've tried to make it better. I'm sorry if you can't really see very well. But here we've got this dragon who, believe it or not, I actually painted. Or maybe you can believe it. I don't know. I was 18 when I painted this. But I painted this at I think it was a YMCA, like summer camp thing, where we got to pick out a clay figurine and then paint it. And so I did that. The fun fact, the reason I have these two seemingly random stuffed animals in this little spot, these Beanie Babies, is because I decided when I was a child that those two were married. I don't know why I decided that, but I did, and it seems cruel to separate them now. This lamp does light up. I usually don't keep it turned on just for battery's sake. In fact, actually, it is, in fact, out of batteries right now. I don't usually light it either way, though. I just kind of like the tavern-y feel that it gives, that it adds to this section of the room. And then we have this, which I'm going to be honest, I could not tell you how long I have had this. Some knickknacks you know the precise story behind, and then others you don't remember when you got them or how long they've been around. This is one of those things that I feel like I've had forever. But yeah, this is not just a model piano, actually. This is a music box. And I used to keep treasures in here. Now I just have the broken off fin of that glass blown dolphin that was on my shelf. Couldn't tell you why I keep it there. Almost forgot, not technically bookshelf, but bookshelf adjacent. I do have this dragon jigsaw puzzle hanging out on my wall over here, and he has a friend, or a counterpart rather. We've got the Middle-earth map of the Hobbit's journey, from The Hobbit specifically, over on this wall as well. Also this, I couldn't tell you why this is on the bread maker right now. It is. This is from my senior homecoming. We had a masquerade theme. Another thing I almost forgot to mention, when I am not using him to film videos, Oscar lives right here next to my sci-fi books. And that is everything that we have currently displayed on our bookshelves. I do feel like I should have mentioned in the intro, you can also tell a lot about a person by how much their bookshelves change every different time you see them. And I am definitely guilty of not only rearranging books all the time, but also rearranging and swapping out different knickknacks. So come into my house at a different time of year, and you'll probably see a different array of knickknacks. But this is what we've got right now. Let me know what you have on your bookshelf. What is your favorite knick-knack? Does it have a story behind it, or is it just something that brings you joy every time you see it? Let me know. I want to find out everybody's little guys that they've got on their shelf. I hope that you enjoyed that. If you did, then I would like it very much if you would click the YouTube buttons down there below the video. They do YouTube things such as subscribing to the channel so you find out when we post our next video, or liking the video to let us know that it was in fact something that you liked. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.